Pokemon. A review of Ash's World Championship moments. Chapter 41. Dr. Kukui. Oh my god, could it be him? At this moment, Dr. Kukui is in his home in the suburbs of Howley City in the Alola region, looking through the research records at hand. Lusamine. It is possible that it is the legendary being. If it is the sun god, this may be related to the ancient legends of our Alola region, the sun god, the moon god, and the god of light. Serona. Oh. It seems like a very interesting story. I wonder if Ms. Lusamine and Dr. Kukui from the Alola region are interested in telling us about it. Daigo. That's right. Ms. Serona also mentioned something that we are very curious about. We are particularly curious about these legendary Pokemon, and the name of this sun god is almost certain. This is a very powerful Pokemon, so is this a legendary first-level beast? Adieu, Xiaoji has really made progress. I didn't expect that it hasn't been long before a level 1 legendary beast can become his partner. However, Xiaoji in the real world has not yet reached the Alola region, which means that Xiaoji in the future may travel to the Alola region. Conquer this Pokemon, conquer the Sun God. With the constant attention of the top trainers in the group. After a brief exchange between Professor Kukui and Lusamine, Professor Kukui sorted out the information and began to popularize science. Soon everyone had a complete understanding of the Sun God, the Moon God, the Radiance God and the entire Alola region. They learned that the Alola region is a stage full of vitality and a place full of vitality. Here, there are rich natural landscapes, many mountains and rivers, and many islands. The climate is very warm, very suitable for playing. And it has Mele Mele Island, Akala Island, Ula Ula Island and Pony Island. The legend about the Sun God, Moon God and Radiance God is. In ancient times, Solgaleo came to the Alola region through the Ultra Cave. He was called the Messenger of the Sun. He was called the Beast that devoured the Sun. Lunala, as the Messenger of the Moon, was also worshipped by people and was called the Beast that invited the Moon. As for Radiance God, he is the third Ultra Beast, and the third legendary Pokemon is called Necrozma. Dr. Kukui. That's all we know about these three Ultra Beasts. We also know that Solgaleo and Lunala, the Sun and Moon gods, had a fierce battle with the island guardians of our Alola region. But the swords and guardians all failed, but after the failure, they were given the power of Guardian Z by the Sun and Moon gods. Dr. Kukui paused for a moment, as if he wanted to make his words more perfect. Then he continued to add. Dr. Kukui. This is the legend about the three gods in our Alola region. It is very old and may not be completely correct. But all these legends reveal a message. If the sun god mentioned in the curtain is indeed Solgaleo, then Xiaoji's future is really limitless. Soon after Dr. Kukui finished his summary, some other people in the Alola region who knew a little more. For example, the king of the island, such as Acerola. For example, some scientists from the Ether Foundation also came out to make some supplements. But everyone's supplements have their limitations. But it is these limitations, and it is these legends of the Sun God, the Moon God, and the Minister of Glory. It has further aroused the curiosity of all the audience. Even ordinary audiences at the Lily of the Valley conference have become excited. Because this shows Xiaoji's future. He has completely won the recognition of a first-level beast. Serena. Great, we have traveled from Kanto all the way to the Alola region. Xiaoji has traveled to so many places. Xiaoji, remember to come to the Kalos region to pick me up in the future. Let's go to the Alola region to play together, okay? Alice. Huh. Obviously, the Unova region is closer. Let's travel to the Unova region first. Our area is also very interesting. Lily. No matter what, the Alola region welcomes Xiaoji. But now it seems that the story in the light screen is about to start playing. This should be a story that no one knows. It may be the same as the second round. We must watch it carefully. The girls at this moment are also trying their best to invite Xiaoji. The other trainers are more curious about Xiaoji's sun god and whether Xiaoji will learn Z moves quickly after arriving in the Alola region. A deck. If the sun god is really Solgaleo, and the sun god mentioned in the light curtain is the same creature as the sun god in the Alola region, then will there be a Z move that is unique to the Alola region involved in this inventory exposure? Is it possible that Xiaoji will use a Z move in this inventory? We haven't seen what a Z move looks like yet. This time we can also broaden our horizons and see how powerful this kind of extreme attack move is. Xiaoji. Z move. Oh, by the way, Mr. Daigo, thank you. I have received your Mega Evolution Stone X and Y and the Evolution Key Stone. I will hurry up and continue training. Dakoto. Okay, then, in the semi-finals that are about to begin, I have to take out my 3 legendary Pokemon to compete with you, Xiaoji. I think 3 should be no problem, 4 is a bit too much, and 2 is disrespectful. No doubt. At this moment, the communication in everyone's group is also centered around Xiaoji and the Sun God. Xiaoji is just like what he said now. He is undergoing continuous training, and he has received 4 sparkling crystals. At this moment, he is also using the information at hand, and is also contacting Dr. Britano who spoke in the group before for advice. And he is also continuing to pay attention to the development of the light curtain, because now the light curtain has officially started playing and is in a void space. For a while, everyone was watching attentively. At this moment, in a void space, or as if in a person's dream, a white Pokemon with a lion-like appearance and a bat-like appearance with a pair of large wings and a golden moon lake inlaid on them appeared on an altar. This altar was supported on a towering mountain. There was also a sun-like mark on it. Dr. Kukui. This big white lion and this bat are the sun god and moon god we mentioned before, that is, Solgaleo and Lunala. Does it mean that the future Ash will be so powerful after coming to the Alola region? Did he get the consent of the sun god directly? This sun altar is at the far end of the Bony Canyon in our Alola region. Dr. Kukui is looking at the light screen at this moment. At the same time, he is looking at the information in his hand. He feels that the information in his hand is too thin. This extremely powerful Solgaleo. This extremely powerful Lunala. If Ash can conquer them directly in this wave, then all the previous research is too weak. Lily. Dr. Kukui, I don't think it should be like this. Look, Solgaleo and Lunala seem to be making an agreement with Xiaoji, and then they disappear together. Look, a very cute marshmallow-like thing appears, and it seems that something like a nebula appears, and it looks very lively. Just as Lily said, when this Pokemon appeared. Lily directly called it Nebula, and added a little, Nebula, in front. Hara. After seeing this scene, I can sense that the Island Guardian is very restless, and at this moment, the Island Guardian in reality has also become restless. As Hara said, not only the Island Guardian in the picture began to become restless and came to the altar. Even the real world is the same. It seems that this Pokemon named Nebula by Lily is an extremely powerful existence. It seems that many people define it as the offspring of Solgaleo and Lunala, or a separate offspring. Gladian. Lilia, are you and Mother okay now? My attribute is also getting irritable now. Lilia. Big brother. Mother and I miss you so much right now. When will you come back? Lusamine. Gladian, we have been worried about you ever since you left home. Gladian. Mother, I'm fine now. Let's continue watching the light screen. This little nebula seems to have the ability to teleport. He can teleport away the guardian god who comes to the sun altar. The altar should be the key to this problem. Just as Gladian said. In the current picture, the little nebula directly shows his most outstanding teleportation ability. Not only can it walk by itself, but it can also take others with it. In the picture, Alola. Pikachu, let's go to school. Accompanied by a very passionate shout in the light curtain, a boy in a blue short-sleeved shirt also appeared in front of everyone. When everyone saw this passionate boy, everyone understood. This is Xiaoji. He now looks like he is on vacation in the Alola region. The blue and white short-sleeved shirt and black cropped pants, as well as his unchanged red Pokeball hat, also make everyone feel very friendly. It seems that Xiaoji has grown up again, and seems to have reached the age of 17 or 18 years old. Pika Pika. At this moment, Pikachu responded and suddenly found something in the grass by the roadside. Hey, Pikachu, did you find anything? Xiaoji said as he ran towards Pikachu. At this moment, a creature with a black body, orange hair and legs, and a shield-like pattern shell in each hand suddenly appeared. Sharona. I feel the breath of order in him. Daigo. This is a standard legendary Pokemon. It should be the guardian of the island, right? A deck. A Pokemon that holds a divine position is at least a level 2 divine beast. Did he come to find Xiaoji? Did he specifically attract Pikachu? Xiaomao. I have a feeling that this Pokemon seems to be particularly familiar with Xiaoji. Is there any background information you can give us? Serena. Yes, it looks a little bit confusing. As everyone said, the chosen ones in the chat group looked a little bit confused. Because although Professor Kukui, Lusamine, and many others continued to popularize Alola, but everyone still didn't know much about what happened after Xiaoji went to Alola in the future scene. And then, it seems that their call worked. Special background. Kapu Kuku is the island guardian that Xiaoji met soon after he came to the Alola region. Kapu Kuku directly gave Xiaoji the Z bracelet that can activate Z moves and the electric Z crystal, and taught Xiaoji how to use Z moves. In the subsequent process, he also helped Xiaoji a lot, and in the subsequent process, many other island guardians also helped Xiaoji a lot. After this background quickly passed. Whether it is a trainer in the Alola region or not, they were all shocked. Island Guardian. Just now, everyone defined it as a second-level beast that holds a divine position. But there is a key point here. When Xiaoji just came to the Alola region, this island guardian named Kapu Kuku, Mele Island, directly gave a big gift package. This wave directly sent Xiaoji to the maximum level. Xiaomao. Interview Darko's current state of mind. Now in the real world, our Ash has already obtained the Mega Evolution given by Mr. Daigo. And the previous screen also showed the Gigantamax, and now there is a Z move, which is complete. And what do you have, Darko? Xiaomao decided to seize the opportunity to pursue the victory. Let Darko enjoy the power of whipping corpses. There is no doubt that at this moment, Darko was choked by Xiaomao's words and his heart was beating fast. But he also tried to take a deep breath. He subconsciously avoided the message sent by Xiaomao. What Darko has to do now is to observe the story of Alola carefully. When Xiaomao saw that Darko ignored him, he suddenly felt that he was asking for trouble. At the same time, Xiaomao also decided that if he wanted to choke Darko in the future, he would have to upgrade a little. Xiaomao's idea now is very simple, to make Darko become mentally unstable. Soon in the semi-finals, his state declined slightly. Xiaomao wanted to help Xiaoji, but he couldn't help too obviously. He also tried his best. At the same time, in the picture. After Kapu chiming appeared, Xiaoji naturally chased after Kapu chiming. Huh. There is a Pokemon sleeping here. Hey, is this a Pokemon? Rotom, scan it and see. Suddenly, Xiaoji also found this Nebula-like Pokemon. He hurriedly called Rotom to hurry up and scan it. At the same time, Pikachu rubbed the Pokemon with his nose. On the other side, Rotom didn't have any idea at all. There was no information in his database. Then, Xiaoji took the Pokemon back to school and looked for a series of help. And it was successfully named Little Nebula by Lily. And Little Nebula also likes to eat Compito very much. Later, Little Nebula and Xiaoji also spent a good series of life in school. But suddenly, the good times didn't last long. A man who looked a little bit unrighteous, wearing green sunglasses, wearing green-lined clothes, named Zaubo from the Ether Foundation researcher. One day, he quietly abducted Little Nebula. His goal was to use Little Nebula to open the Ultra Hole, so as to summon the Ultra Beasts, please Lusamine, and restore his status. In the end, he succeeded. He summoned a Pokemon named Voided from the Ultra Hole. But, after Voided came, it also wreaked havoc on the Ether Foundation, and was about to hurt Gladian and Lily. At this critical moment, Lusamine also rushed out to protect Gladian and Lily. But Lusamine herself was controlled. Lily and Gladian were very anxious when they saw this. They hurriedly tried to find a way. But, it didn't work. Voided still captured Lusamine. Lusamine. Zaubo. Lilia. Zaubo. Gladian. Zauber. Zaubo. With the criticism in the chat group, Zaubo was panicked for a moment. He didn't expect that this secret would be directly exposed by the light curtain. At this moment, he could only kneel down and beg for mercy, and still retain a glimmer of hope. Zaob. Chairman Lusamine, Miss Lily, Master Gladian, look. Now the two of you have decided to go find Lady Lusamine, and Mao, Suilian, Kachi, and Satoshi are also planning to set off together. And the 4 island guardians have already appeared, and everyone has arrived at the sun altar on Bonnie Island. This is when Satoshi is going to enter the Ultra Cave. You must believe in Satoshi. Although the story in the picture at this moment is just as Zaob said. But everyone also understands. With the power of Satoshi and his group, it is too difficult to save Lusamine. And at this moment, although Nebula has evolved once. But I don't know how strong he is. I also don't know whether the Pokemon Nebula has any combat power. Serona. I can see that this man named Zalbo must be the same as he said. He made mistakes before, and then used one mistake after another to make up for the previous mistakes, thus making mistakes again and again. The question now is how Xiaoji in the future will solve this big crisis. Hyerna's words also directly pointed out the center. Because the future things have already appeared, there will definitely be changes. But how Xiaoji in the future will solve this crisis is what everyone is concerned about. And this time Xiaoji also showed unprecedented responsibility in the Alola region. It also allows everyone to directly see Xiaoji's growth. And at this moment in the picture, the 4 island guardians are indeed like holding a ceremony. I only saw that they all exerted their full strength and stood in the corresponding positions on the altar. When their power passed through the orbit of the altar and merged into the sun-like figure at the top of the altar, a powerful light suddenly burst out, and it was a swipe. This burst of light shot directly at the small nebula in the center of the altar. At this moment, a golden light suddenly appeared. At this moment, the small nebula was wrapped in waves of golden light, and it also burst out with a powerful pressure, as if it was about to evolve again. Zyba. There is no doubt that Nebula is going to evolve. What kind of Pokemon will Nebula evolve into after it evolves? Solgaleo and Lunala asked Xiaoji to take care of him. At the same time, the 4 island guardians asked Xiaoji to take care of him. It was also the 4 guardians who personally let Nebula evolve from stage 2 to stage 3. This treatment is too strong, right? It must be a level 2 beast, right? At this moment, Zyba felt that his judgment was absolutely accurate. He felt that only the level 2 beasts who mastered the power of the priesthood could be worthy of Nebula's noble status at the moment. First, it was entrusted by 2 level 1 gods, and then by 4 level 2 gods. And these beasts still master their own priesthoods. Definitely powerful. Adieu, Zyba, you used your brain this time, but still not too much. Such a powerful Pokemon is the same as my Dragonite. It must be one of the top Pokemon with a base value of 600. These Pokemon can definitely be compared with the first level beasts that master the god position after training. Of course, the prerequisite is that the level is slightly improved. Adu immediately responded to Zyba. He felt that Zyba had misjudged the strength of Little Nebula again. It couldn't be a second level god. It could only be a quasi-god. As the two argued, the chat group was also in an uproar, and at this moment everyone was watching the changes in the light screen intently. This kind of evolution is rare. Moreover, the 4 island guardian gods personally completed the ceremony and evolved on the altar. How cool is that? For a while, everyone envied Xiao Zhenang for having such a powerful Pokemon. A guaranteed second-level beast, or a quasi-god. As for the unattainable first-level god, no one thought about it at all. How is it possible? Could it be that on the sun altar, a final form of a first-level god will be hatched? If it can be hatched, they will eat up the entire sun altar on the spot. At this moment, countless people were also looking forward to it. And then, along with this burst of evolutionary light, it became more and more vigorous. The ball of light in the altar became brighter and brighter. Suddenly, the ball of light exploded. It turned into a fierce beam of light. Blue, red, pink, and scarlet. It formed an incomparably powerful energy circle. And this energy circle finally exploded completely. In an instant, everyone saw a pentagram-like, star-like pattern. Then everyone saw an incomparable, powerful and strong tail. When everyone saw this tail, many people's eyes twitched. Because this tail really looks like a first-level beast they had seen before. Then as the picture of the tail finished playing, everyone finally saw clearly that the previous star pattern similar to a pentagram turned out to be the front face of Xiao Xingyan after his final evolution. After seeing this front face image, countless people were shocked. Because this pentagram-like, the frontal image is exactly the golden thorns on Solgaleo's head. It turns out, Nebula equals Solgaleo equals level 1 God equals Xiaoji's Pokemon. Lila. Great. Although I'm not sure, I'm almost certain that this is Solgaleo. I didn't expect that Xiaoji could actually own the Sun God and Solgaleo in the Alola region. It turns out that the title on the inventory screen has already given us the answer, but we didn't believe it at first, and I still don't believe it now. As the person in charge of the Battle Frontier and the Battle Tower in the Kanto region, Lila is now watching Xiaoji's third ace Pokemon in the third round with her Metagross and her other Pokemon. Lila was so excited that her breathing became a little rapid. Because Charizard had already come to their Battle Frontier in the second Pokemon in the third round, and Xiaoji in reality had also come to the Battle Frontier. Lila had also heard about Charizard defeating Darla's good friend Articuno, and now she saw Xiaoji's third ace Pokemon. Lila really felt it. Xiaoji is becoming more and more like the only one in Lila's heart. Kamishiro. That's amazing. I guess this must be after Solgaleo has completed this evolution. We are going to take Xiaoji and the others into the Ultra Hole to save Lusamine, who was taken away by Zuhud. Things must be so simple and straightforward. But how can we enter successfully? Do we need a special key? Is it possible that the key to enter is a special item in the Alola region? Kamishiro, as the strongest existence in the Battle Frontier in the Kanto region. At this moment, he also quickly grasped the key to the problem. Xiaoji is particularly amazing. He has Solgaleo, the Sun God, legendary Pokemon, and Pokemon that master the priesthood. This is really cool. Solgaleo, this is of course outstanding and very handsome. But how can we enter the Ultra Hole? Is this Ultra Hole equivalent to a space channel in another world? So, can this space channel in another world be connected to other places? In this case, how to open the correct channel and go to the right place is particularly critical. Dr. Kukui. Great, Mr. Kamishiro. We have heard of your name even in the Alola region. My guess is that you may want to let Xiaoji use his Z skill. Everything depends on Xiaoji. Did you see that the 4 Island Guardians came this time? In addition to helping Xiaoji's Nebula complete the final evolution, they may also ask Xiaoji to complete a crucial mission. You see. At this moment, Dr. Kukui was talking while reminding everyone to watch the story on the screen again. When the golden, white, orange red, and dark blue lion head appeared, everyone understood. It turned out that little Nebula was Solgaleo. Little Xingyan, this is your favorite candy. Should I call you Solgaleo now? Xiaoji handed a handful of colorful candies to Solgaleo. The other side also looked at him with hope. After that, Xiaoji sighed slightly when he saw that Solgaleo did not move. You really don't want to eat anymore, right? After saying this, Xiaoji suddenly felt a little disappointed. But before he could do anything, Solgaleo suddenly moved closer to Xiaoji. He ate all the candy in one mouthful. He stuck out his orange tongue. Ah! Licked Xiaoji and Pikachu's face. With this intimate gesture, Xiaoji also went up to hug Solgaleo, and recalled how Nebula lived happily with everyone at that time. At that time, Nebula liked to sleep with Owl. At that time, Nebula liked to stay in the backpack all day. At that time, Nebula liked. And then, other partners also came forward to hug Solgaleo. Not long after, Xiaoji expressed that he and his group planned to rescue Lusamine. And Solgaleo also said that he would take the responsibility. Almost in the next second, an exclusive Z crystal fell from Solgaleo's forehead. And then, the 4 Island Guardians also helped Xiaoji evolve the Z bracelet so that it could easily insert Solgaleo's Z crystal. Sharona. You see, after Xiaoji's bracelet was upgraded and the Z crystal was inserted, Solgaleo also squatted down. What is Xiaoji going to do? Kaluna. Solgaleo should still be Ash's Pokemon, or to put it another way, he has always been Ash's Pokemon. Could it be that Solgaleo is really going to use his own exclusive Z move to open the door to the Ultra Cave as everyone guessed before? With Sharona and Kaluna's speculation, everyone's attention was completely drawn to it at this moment. A deck. The exclusive Z move of the first level god, who on Earth is Xiaoji. Just as Adek was shocked. Under the resonance of the Z bracelet, Z pure crystal, Xiaoji, and Solgaleo, Xiaoji successfully launched the skill. The sky is full of sunlight. After the skill was activated, Solgaleo turned into a meteor and rushed towards the door of the Ultra Hole that opened in the sky. However, Rushing towards the completely unfamiliar Ultra Hole also made many people nervous. All the top trainers also frowned. Almost in an instant, they also became worried. The worry came from the unknown. They didn't know what was in the Ultra Hole. Is it an Ultra Beast? What does an Ultra Beast look like? Are they all like Zuhud? Can they control people? And especially the girls, they are more worried about Xiaoji. But they know that not being afraid of difficulties and moving forward courageously is Xiaoji's personal charm. Will Xiaoji succeed? He must be able to. Come on. Solgaleo, where are you taking us? It seems that we are still traveling in the ultimate space. It looks like an ocean, but also like a cave. Why does the entrance look like the cavity of a jellyfish? It feels very narrow. Is everyone okay? Xiaoji hugged Solgaleo tightly while caring about the dynamics of his companions behind him. After hearing Xiaoji's question, Solgaleo used telepathy to reassure Xiaoji. Xiaoji also learned that this was the ultimate deep sea, and Lusamine, who was possessed by the Void Eid, was just ahead. Mother. When Lily saw her mother Lusamine, she was also very excited. But Lusamine was in a very wrong state at the moment. She was floating in the air and advised Xiaoji and his group not to get close. And all around her were various kinds of shaweed. Moreover, Lusamine herself seemed to have been wrapped by a huge purple sheet. Lilia. Don't come over here, go away. Vulpix, use snow. With Lusamine's dissuasion and Lily's insistence on making her mother sober, Vulpix immediately obeyed the trainer's words and used snow. But she didn't expect that the skill of the Ultra Beast Hollow ID was too powerful. She directly summoned purple ice crystals to block the snow. Pikachu 100,000 volts. Exploding Tortoise, Flame Jet, Gara Gara, Bone Boomerang. As Xiaoji and his team continued to attack, Solgaleo finally joined in. After that, they finally broke through the Ultra Beast's obstacle. Just when Xiaoji and his team were about to continue chasing, suddenly, other Pokemon appeared. It seemed that this was the Pokemon summoned by Lusamine after being possessed. Daigo. I didn't expect that the Pokemon summoned by Miss Lusamine after being possessed are also very powerful. They are Flame Queen, Melodic, Dream Demon and Absol. Now it depends on whether Xiaoji and his friends can defeat these Pokemon, but I don't think it will be a big problem. This battle seems to be equivalent to a collective explosion of Xiaoji's friends in the Alola region. You see, in the end it was almost effortless. Victory. Sharona. She has been fighting all the way. And Miss Lusamine is finally being caught up. Xiaoji's owl and the sweet dance of this little girl named Mouse seem to be performing a combined skill. The name is Owl's special move, and the power is also very strong. Calno. But it's not a good idea to keep fighting like this. Maybe the Ultra Beast's physical recovery in the Ultra space is very strong. If that's the case, it will be impossible for Xiaoji to fight a protracted battle. Along with the worries of a group of top trainers. At this moment, everyone is also very nervous. Because the physical strength of the trainer is limited, and they also know that Z-moves are a specialty of the Alola region, and this Z-move will drain a part of the trainer's physical strength every time it is used. If we don't fight quickly, it's really difficult. Serena. I'm so nervous. Come on, Xiaoji. Dr. Kukui. The Holoid that controls Miss Lusamine is definitely a Holoid with extraordinary strength. The Holoid is an Ultra Beast that is extremely rare, and it is really difficult to fight it at home. Xiaoji and his friends have already tried their best. Xiaomao. You have to win in the end with all your strength. When will Xiaoji win? At this time, we still have to rely on Xiaoji. Can Xiaoji cooperate with his Pikachu and Solgaleo to solve the problem in one move? Sakari. That's easy to say. We in Team Rocket have done some research and have some understanding of Ultra Beasts. How can it be so easy to deal with these Ultra Beasts that are in groups at home? Adu, don't you want to solve the difficulties? Sakari, what's wrong with you? Why are you so timid? Show your courage to do bad things and help Xiaoji. Just like that, the whole chat group was in an uproar again, and everyone was looking forward to Xiaoji's decisive battle. At this moment, Lilia, who had been paying close attention to the light screen and was very nervous, made a new discovery. Lilia. Look everyone, Xiaoji's electric crystal has transformed into a special crystal. Is this the skill that Xiaoji needs to win the battle? It seems to be, Pikachu's Z crystal. It seems to be exclusive. Just like Solgaleo's exclusive. Accompanied by Lilier's excited words, everyone also looked at the picture on the screen. At this moment, Xiaoji shouted with great confidence in Pikachu. Pikachu, let's use all our strength. Pika Pika. Then, Xiaoji's exclusive Z crystal also burst into a burst of lightning. Then, Pikachu came to the ground holding Xiaoji's hat, and Pikachu also put Xiaoji's hat on his head. Hat leather is completed. With full hit plus tail hit. Xiaoji only saw his energy transferred to Pikachu, and shouted loudly. 1,000,000 volts, more powerful than 100,000 volts. No. It is our full strength, which is even more powerful. Pick up. Pikachu, 10,000,000 volts. Pika 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 Pika, Pikachu. Xiaoji punched and Pikachu leapt into the sky. In an instant, red, yellow, cyan, blue, purple, pink, 7 colors of light beams burst out from Pikachu. In an instant, this skill called 10,000,000 volts was directly activated. With a swish, it directly hit the body of the possessed void in a special state. 10,000,000 volts. The effect is outstanding. The possessed void was completely beaten and lost its combat ability. Lusamine was rescued. Lily. Oh my god. Xiaoji, you are so great. Thank you. Lily didn't know what to say at this moment. She was really moved. She didn't expect that in the future Xiaoji would lead Solgaleo to the ultra deep sea by himself, and then cooperate with Solgaleo, Pikachu and other partners to rescue his mother. All of this was led by Xiaoji. Lusamine. Yes, thank you very much. As everyone in the communication group expressed their gratitude one after another. After that, Xiaoji and his group also arranged all matters properly, and Solgaleo also followed Xiaoji back to the Alola region. And later, everyone also saw a very cute Pokemon, named Pokemon by Xiaoji, joining Xiaoji's team. And one morning later, Xiaoji woke up in Dr. Kukui's house. As usual, when he was about to say hello to Dr. Kukui and his wife. Dr. Kukui and Dr. Barnett suddenly became very listless. After seeing this situation, Xiaoji was also very surprised. When he looked up at the sky was also covered with dark clouds. But at this moment, a huge black and gray figure rushed out. Sharona. A completely black crystalline creature appeared. Dr. Kukui. Oh no, it's rushing towards Xiaoji and the others. Kaluna. And this dark creature seems to be chasing its prey, those big purple gold wings, is that Lunala? The moon god. Xiao Mao. Are you kidding me? One wave after another, are you going to let us rest? Who is this bad guy? Accompanied by the exclamations of the top trainers in the real world. Everyone also saw a strange black crystalline creature with a very large body, long arms and slightly shorter legs, rushing towards Xiaoji. Or to be more precise, it was rushing towards Solgaleo plus Lunala in front. Because after Solgaleo and Xiaoji returned to Alola together, Solgaleo has been living with Xiaoji. And, as Miss Sharona discovered, the moon god Lunala also rushed over. In the picture. Everyone, get out of the way. Xiaoji was also quick-witted at this moment, and immediately ordered everyone to disperse and hide. Although Dr. Kukui and Dr. Barnett were powerless at the moment, they also reacted quickly and turned over and ran out of the house. Xiaoji had already seen that this black unidentified object was coming for him, or in other words, for Solgaleo. He immediately had no time to explain. He immediately called his Pikachu, rushed to Solgaleo's back, and commanded Solgaleo to fly into the sky. Xiaoji is in danger, what are you doing? That black unidentified object is too dangerous. We don't know what kind of creature it is. It's possible that it's another ultra beast. Run, Xiaoji. At this moment, Dr. Kukui and Dr. Barnett saw Xiaoji's action, and they reacted immediately. This is the dark existence in the sky chasing Xiaoji and Solgaleo. If Xiaoji left here, they would naturally not attack Dr. Kukui and them. However, the Pokemon that can chase the moon god Lunala is definitely extraordinary. And from the looks of it, it's not just chasing. It seems that the moon god Lunala is going to be swallowed and fused. But Xiaoji didn't retreat at this moment. He directly brought his Pikachu plus Toxopus plus all other Pokemon. He rushed directly towards the dark, huge Pokemon that seemed to be able to swallow all the light. Dr. Kukui. What's going on? This kind of Pokemon seems to have never appeared in the Alola region. What exactly is this Pokemon? Along with Dr. Kukui's shock, so did the other viewers in the Alola region. So did the trainers in the other Alola region groups. But at this moment, when everyone saw that Xiaoji had already ridden Solgaleo and rushed out with his family, they vaguely felt that Xiaoji had understood something. Sirona, is there a possibility that the Xiaoji in the light curtain has been trying to understand Tomo and Ultra Beasts since Tomo entered his life? And now he wants to protect his Pokemon and the Alola region he loves from the attacks of this dark Pokemon. And then, as if just as Miss Sirona said, after Xiaoji brought Solgaleo, Tomo, and Pikachu, he flew directly into the air, waving his hands. And he seemed to be communicating with Lunala, who was being chased by the dark Pokemon. Lunala, follow me. This pitch-black Pokemon seems to want to devour the light, whether it is moonlight or sunlight, he wants to devour it. That's why he's chasing you in my nebula. As Xiaoji shouted, Lunala seemed to understand and immediately made a 90-degree turn behind Solgaleo. And at this moment, Xiaoji took Solgaleo and Lunala together and circled with the dark Pokemon in the sky. And while circling, Xiaoji was constantly communicating with the dark creature through his ability. Kukui, you stay here and watch. I will go back to the Foundation to investigate immediately. This dark Pokemon looks similar to the ancient legend. While Dr. Barnett was talking, he rushed to the Foundation without stopping. Dr. Kukui nodded immediately after hearing this, and at the same time he was also supporting the team below. In addition, Dr. Kukui also contacted the kings of the 4 islands as soon as possible. The entire Alola region was in action at this moment. Professor Oak, the Alola region is amazing. In this operation, I saw the unity of the Alola region, and I saw your strategic planning, Kukui. I saw Barnett's ability to point directly to the problem itself, and I saw Xiaoji's growth and strength. Xiaoji has now once again reproduced the content of the second set of inventory. Riding a level 1 beast. And carrying another level 1 beast as a teammate. With the final comments of Professor Oak, everyone's attention is now focused on the picture. Everyone is looking forward to Xiaoji's ability to successfully help the Alola region resolve this crisis. Because everyone has seen that the adults in the Alola region have basically lost their motivation. Even the top trainers and researchers such as Dr. Kukui and Dr. Barnett can only summon their spirits to barely mobilize their abilities. To this day, the safety of the Alola region is all tied to Xiaoji. In the screen of light. Xiaoji, we found out the answer. After contacting all the information of the Foundation, we found out. This pitch-black Pokemon is Necrozma that has lost its light. We are now going to take a look at the ultimate space. That's the source of everything. As Dr. Barnett sent a message to Xiaoji, Xiaoji nodded immediately. It was just as he guessed. When Xiaoji lived with Poison Baby before, he had already noticed that Poison Baby liked to draw very much. And drawing also carried a hint of sadness. It seemed that their original world was very good. However, later on, due to some reasons, they had to come out to find a place to live. And Poison Baby was the future star released by the tribe to find the light source. Dr. Barnett, can you use the equipment of the Ether Foundation to open the ultimate space? Just go to the world where Poison Baby is. Let's take this lightless Nike Nazma over there now. And find a way to make the world over there have light. Xiaoji immediately gave instructions and arrangements, and Dr. Barnett responded immediately. At the same time, Necrozma, who had lost his light and was completely black, was chasing after him. No problem, stay safe. Dr. Barnett made arrangements immediately despite his fatigue, and Lusamine was also making arrangements. In the end, Xiaoji also turned the tide and returned to the world where Poison Baby had lost its light. Dr. Barnett, when I send you a message, you can ask the king of the island to follow the method I told you, and then the light should be restored. This was the last sentence that Xiaoji said before he took 2 level 1 gods and all his other Pokemon into the ultra space. Because Xiaoji had already sensed it. Using the power of Z moves to transfer energy to Necrozma and make him wake up is definitely not reliable. To cure the disease, you must treat the root cause, and you must give it light again. Daigo. Well said. I have reason to suspect that Xiaoji may have prepared for Toxopus to return home and everything related to it a long time ago. It is possible that Xiaoji was just guessing before, And now when this matter shows signs, he has begun to implement all his plans. With Daigo's analysis and admiration, everyone's evaluation of Xiaoji once again increased by several dimensions. From the beginning, he was reckless and ignorant, but passionate, but loved Pokemon. Then to the later progress and improvement, and then to the very good results in the conference. Now he can control the big scene and save the world again. Xiaoji has improved too much. In the light screen. After arriving at the ultimate space where Toxopus lives, Xiaoji saw this world without light, which directly confirmed his guess. At the same time, Xiaoji also sent a message directly to Dr. Barnett. Almost in an instant, the kings of the islands in the Alola region immediately began to mobilize their respective masses. Please listen to us, now our Alola region's shining god has lost his light. We have to give them light again so that we can regain our strength. The Alola region is so unique because of the god of radiance. With the powerful call of the kings of the islands, almost all the people stretched out their hands to the sky and turned into spots of stars. When these spots of stars condensed, they directly penetrated time and space and came to the ultimate space where Xiaoji was. At this moment, Necrozma was almost madly chasing Xiaoji, chasing him relentlessly. However, Xiaoji commanded Solgaleo again and again, and commanded Lunala again and again, and finally avoided Necrozma's attack without any danger. Because he understood that Necrozma just lost its light, so it became irritable. When it recovers, it is still the glorious god of the Alola region. Pika Pika. Baby, baby. Pikachu and Toxic Baby exclaimed. When countless starlight points merged successfully, Xiaoji also gathered his light to Necrozma. Finally, the starlight gathered. Necrozma, who had been chasing relentlessly before, suddenly stopped and burst into holy light. At this moment, Necrozma looked like a dazzling dragon. All parts of his body were emitting light. The light behind him was also shining like wings. Tiandao's comment. In the end, with Xiaoji's efforts to turn the tide, the unprecedented crisis in the Alola region was successfully resolved. Xiaoji's advance foresight, emergency arrangements during the disaster, and his efforts to turn the tide in the process prevented the Alola region from suffering any losses. In the process, he worked closely with Nebula, so he directly gained Nebula's permanent following, and also gained the deep friendship of the moon goddess Lunala and the great god of light, ultimate Necrozma. Accompanied by Tiandao's comments in the light curtain. With the ultimate perfect ending, countless trainers also breathed a sigh of relief. This future Xiaoji's thinking is really clear. I didn't know before that it was the glorious god who lost his light, but Xiaoji has seen through it all. That's it. I don't know what kind of status Xiaoji will be counted in the next inventory. He already has 3 aces. It's time to review the battles, right? The 3 aces should be enough. How about reviewing Xiaoji's classic games? For example, the one against Darko. I want to see how Darko lost. Don't talk nonsense. Darkrai is still very strong. Didn't you see his level 92 Nightmare God? Now many people have called Darkrai the Nightmare God. Maybe we'll continue watching Ace Pokemon. I want to continue watching Ace Pokemon. At this moment, the audience at the Lily of the Valley convention also burst into applause and discussion. And they seemed to have seen enough. They wanted to watch more. Some said they wanted to watch the battle, some said they wanted to watch Ace, and some even said they wanted to watch Xiaoji and the girl's daily life. It was so varied. There was everything. Ding! The inventory and exposure of Xiaoji's World Championship moments has officially begun. First match. Mier Conference, the ultimate showdown between the champions of the Kalos League, Xiaoji and Alan. Finals. Xiaoji vs Alan. 6-on-6 full-scale battle. At this moment, when the light curtain was lit again, everyone cheered. The peak showdown began. Xiaoji will be the 8th master in the future. Ilan will also be the 8th master in the future. This is the advance competition between the two. The 8th of the future 8 masters, Xiaoji. The 6th of the future 8 masters, Ilan. The showdown has officially begun. Kalu. Alan. You're awesome. I'm rooting for you. Serona. I originally thought that it might be released first at the Lily of the Valley conference, but I didn't expect that it would be an early contest between the two 8 masters. It must be very exciting. Serena. Mr. Allen, he's a trainer from our Kalos region. Dr. Bretano. Yes, Alan was my assistant and had been studying super evolution with me. But later, because Alan wanted to explore the secrets of super evolution and advanced secrets, I allowed him to travel with Charmander and report to me from time to time. But later, it seemed that he was influenced by Fradili and gradually cut off contact with me. Xiao Mao. Oh, then Mr. Alan's state of mind must have changed later. If he hadn't changed, he would definitely not have been able to become one of the 8 masters. Did he meet some people along the way? For example, he met a girl in the future, or some bad guys in the future. Of course, he met a bad guy first, and then a girl. Thus he completed his self-salvation. At this moment, Xiaomao knew everything about exploring the inner changes of trainers. He felt that he could guess Alan's mental journey with just a random guess. Because, since Alan can become one of the 8 masters, he is a top-notch existence. To become an 8 master, your Pokemon level must be at least level 90 or above. Alan. I'm sorry, Dr. Blatino. Due to some special reasons, I did go astray for a while. But now, in addition to wanting to stand at the top and become the strongest with Charizard, I am also gradually feeling the joy of Pokemon battles. At this moment, Alan was traveling in Kalos, and at the same time, he was apologizing to his mentor, Dr. Blatino, in the chat group. He was indeed influenced by the leader of Team Flare. He was influenced by Florida. As for some things that happened later, Alan didn't want to say more. He just wanted to enjoy this time, the game between himself and Xiaoji from the future at the Mier conference. Sirona. Of course, it is a great virtue to admit one's mistakes and correct them. But I have heard from Mr. Alan in the Sinnoh League that you have always used your strongest Charizard and Mega Evolution for one-on-one battles. I wonder what kind of matchup will be used in this Mier conference. Is it a 6-on-6 matchup? Although the Tiandao live room has already written a 6-on-6 matchup in advance. But there is no guarantee. If Xiaoji's strength in the Kalos region is not at its peak, it is still possible that Alan can complete a string of 6s using only his strongest Charizard, or use 2 Pokemon 420 to complete a big winning streak. So Miss Sirona must ask, she is also very confident in Xiaoji. But after arriving in each region, the number of Pokemon will increase. So I don't know which Pokemon Xiaoji will use for battle. Alan. Yes, Ms. Sirona, I guess I will definitely use 6 Pokemon to fight in the future, which is a respect for Xiaoji as a trainer. I feel that Xiaoji must have helped me and opened my heart after arriving in the Kalos region. So using 6 Pokemon in this battle is also a respect for Xiaoji, and I think it is necessary. Accompanied by Alan's last explanation. The trainers in the chat group also nodded. For everyone, Alan's strength exploded, and taking out 6 Pokemon is what everyone wants to see. And what kind of Pokemon Xiaoji will take out this time is also what everyone expects. And everyone also believes that after coming to Kalos, although new Pokemon have been added, but Xiaoji will definitely use them flexibly. It is not always necessary to use new Pokemon. It is very likely that the old Pokemon will be taken out and used. And everyone is also looking forward to the Koga Greninja in the Kalos region mentioned by Dr. Bratano and Yakshuan before, and it is the Koga Greninja that looks like Xiaoji. Yakshuan. I see everyone is looking forward to Greninja's appearance. The Kalos Mier convention is a very important convention. And you see, Miss Kurunori has already gone on stage to give another speech. After this speech, the finals will definitely begin. Generally speaking, as far as I know, at the Kalos Mier convention, Miss Kurunori will only give a speech at the opening ceremony. Kurunori. That's right, but there are some special changes this time, which I think is reasonable. After all, they are Alan and Xiaoji. As everyone discussed, everyone's attention returned to the light screen again. The screen at this moment has been given to Xiaoji. At this moment, Xiaoji is still on the right side of the arena, attacking to the left. Xiaoji is still dressed in classic clothes, with a blue and white top and a Pokeball hat. And his eyes are very determined. I believe he has grown a lot. After the screen is given to the left side again, Alan is wearing a black long-sleeved shirt with a purple and white lining, plus a blue scarf, which further highlights Alan's temperament. And at this moment, with a loud rumbling sound, the arena in the Kalos area also rose from the ground. The first game is a rock-attributed arena. Come on, Alan. Come on, Alan. Come on, Xiaoji. Go, go, go. At this moment, the audience around the arena also burst into cheers like a tsunami. At this moment, the camera screen also jumped directly to the friends and family cheering area. A girl with a red hat and two boys and girls with golden hair appeared. Serena. Wow, that's Serena. It seems that after Xiaoji came to the Kalos region, Serena and I have successfully reunited. That's great. Eureka. The one with a dongdong mouse on his head is me. But is it brother Citron's dongdong mouse or mine? Citron. Whether it's the Pokemon you captured, Eureka, or the Pokemon you asked me to keep, they are all very good. Look, Dongdong Mouse is standing on your head, Eureka, and is also paying close attention to this game. Corny. Huh. The screen hasn't shown me yet. Does that mean I'm not a supporter of Xiaoji in this game? But I believe that even if I didn't go to the scene, I would definitely watch this battle carefully at home and in the gym. Accompanied by everyone's discussion. The camera in the screen is also constantly rotating. It also allows all the audience to see clearly how lively the entire Mier conference is. And as the camera keeps turning, the very technological battlefield in the Kalos region is also revealed. At this moment, everyone can see clearly. The battlefield in Mier is very good. There are rocks plus mountains, and even gurgling water flowing down from the mountains. As the picture starts to rotate from the arena again, the camera once again cuts to the panoramic view of the entire arena. Xiaoji also waved his hand, pointed to the sky with one hand, and called out his first Pokemon. Go, Pikachu. Pika Pika. As Pikachu jumped up from behind Xiaoji, he also looked confident, and landed on all fours, with a burst of lightning all over his body. Go, Bangulas. Ilan waved his hand and called out his first capable General Bangulas. Bangulas, who was very fierce, roared immediately after he appeared. Suddenly, there was a gust of flying sand and rocks on the scene. It was obvious that this was a sandstorm. The weather had started to rise. This was the start of the sandstorm. Dr. Britano. Great, great, you came on stage with great momentum. Xiaomao. What's good about that? Dr. Blatano, didn't you see that the referee just waved his hand? The game seems to have just officially started, and the sandstorm has already started. And Bangulas versus Pikachu, Xiaoji is already very difficult to beat, and he is hitting him with his head. I want to report it, this is unfair. The Mier conference in the Kalos region protects its own master-level trainer. I will report it to my grandfather and wipe out your Kalos conference. Professor Oak. But cough cough cough, Xiaomao, don't be impulsive, that's the sand-raising characteristic. I doubt you know the sand-raising characteristic. But you are helping Xiaoji gain an advantage in the future. Caluno. Xiaomao. You must not be unreasonable. Let's raise the sand chi, how can I force a sandstorm? This is not cheating. The characteristic is not a skill, it is there as soon as I enter the game. Xiaoxia. Cheating. Cheating. Serena. Cheating. Cheating. At that moment, many girls followed Xiaomao's topic and madly spammed the word, cheating, Beck, in the chat group. Seeing this, Kaluna frowned and didn't want to talk anymore. She knew that the girls wanted to give Pikachu a little advantage in the first match after seeing Xiaoji use Pikachu to fight Bangiras, so that Xiaoji and Pikachu would know the sand-raising characteristic in the future. As for these girls, Kaluna was 100% sure that they knew that the sand-raising characteristic would turn the weather into a sandstorm after it appeared. Xiaomao, Xiaoxia, Serena and other girls denounced the unfairness of the referee of the Mier conference finals in the chat group, and then continued to watch the screen. Xiaomao just wanted to find a chance for the future Xiaoji in the chat group. Xiaomao said so now. If the future Alan fights Xiaoji again, he will definitely not dare to play like this at the beginning. Or Alan will definitely change a Pokemon at the beginning. As for the sandstorm, of course Xiaomao knew about it. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. If he didn't know, how could he be Professor Oak's grandson? As for Serena, Xiaoxia and the other girls, of course they knew about it. But they didn't need a reason to support Xiaoji. And Xiaomao happened to be charging in front, they were just an accomplice. Xiaoji, this is all I can do to help you. I don't know what your full lineup is, but how do you use Pikachu to fight against Banguirus in the first game? Just use the head. Oh, Forget it. For a moment, Xiaomao felt that the strongest world championship moment exposed in this inventory might just expose the championship moment that Xiaoji might win in a certain future game. Maybe it was that game that was particularly handsome. Xiaomao could only comfort himself in this way. After all, the races of Pikachu and Bankiras are too different, and cannot be estimated by common sense. On one side is Bankiras with evil attributes and rock attributes with a race value of 600, with super high durability and physical attack. On the other side is an ordinary Pikachu with a race value of only 320. Although Xiaoji's Pikachu must be the only Pikachu in the world. It must be very fierce, but Alan is not a pushover. Moreover, although Pikachu was in the second and third inventory, there are very impressive performances in all of them, but those were against top Pokémon without trainers. But the trainer of Bankiras is Alan, the future 8 Masters. The future 6th of the 8 Masters. And in the future, Xiaoji will only be the 8th of the 8 Masters. From the inside out, Xiaoji has no advantage. But Xiaomao also knows that man determines the fate, come on. And at this moment, there are many people who have the same idea as Xiaomao, and they are all concentrating on the picture on the light curtain. Including Musashi, Meowth, and Kojira, they were also very excited after seeing that the moment of revealing the strongest world champion had finally begun. Because this represents whether Xiaoji, the little brat in their eyes, can realize his dream. In the light curtain picture, Banguirus uses the wave of evil. At this moment, Alan took the initiative and used the wave of evil at the beginning. Normally, Banguirus's physical attack racial value is very high, so it is reasonable to use physical attack skills first. For example, physical skills with rock attributes are very useful. But Alan is also full of confidence at this moment, and it seems that he has prepared everything in advance. With this wave of evil breaking through the sandstorm weather, it rushed towards Pikachu. The light of the wave of evil, which is dozens of times larger than Pikachu's body, is about to hit Pikachu in front of it. Pikachu, get out of the way. Following Xiaoji's command, Pikachu was very agile and hid behind the rock. He jumped away from behind the rock in 2 small steps and successfully avoided this wave of evil. Adieu. Good. As expected of a trainer from Kanto, even if this Pikachu is basically doomed to lose in the first game, I still want to cheer for Pikachu. This evasive speed is not like a Pokémon of more than 300 species. I still want to emphasize that we can't just look at the species. There are huge differences between individuals. Adu is the champion trainer of the Kanto League in the 4th of the future 8 Masters. He stopped pretending at this moment and started to support his own people directly. Zyba. Yes. Restoring the glory of the Kanto region is our duty. We absolutely do not have any additional bonuses from the region, we are fair and just. Our fairness and justice are just like Dr. Bratilo from the Kalos region and Ms. Kalyun from the Kalos region, who support their own Alan. Karuna. Good guy. At this moment, Heba's next words directly blocked Karen from speaking. This is completely different from Heba's personality. When did Heba say something so reasonable? This guy who usually looks big and strong, a fighting attribute trainer, did he use his brain today? Is it because he watched Xiaoji's battles and Xiaoji's review? The review is very interesting, but does it have this effect? Daigo. Everyone is discussing this very enthusiastically. You can see that Xiaoji in the picture seems to be making Pikachu do a very complicated action. And actually, regarding what everyone just said, that Banguirus uses special attack skills first, is there a possibility that it is because he wants to control the distance? Basically, many long-range skills are special attacks, and it is reasonable to use special attacks at the beginning. With this by Daigo after hearing this sentence in the chat group, many trainers suddenly realized it. Because it was just as Daigo said, there were a lot of melee physical attacks and a lot of ranged special attacks. At the beginning, attack the ranged first, which would definitely pass the level. And at this moment, they also saw the complicated operation that Daigo mentioned, which made Pikachu do it. In the light screen, Pikachu. Use Iron Tail on the water. Manually make it rain. At this moment, with Xiaoji's command and Pikachu jumping up, the glittering Iron Tail slammed directly into the water on the ground. Instantly, countless steam burst upwards. For a moment, everyone was shocked. Oh my god, can you play like this? Dante. I must explain. Xiaoji brought Pikachu to a height that he shouldn't have, which is very good and very powerful. But I suggest that other ordinary trainers and ordinary children should never learn from him. At this moment, Dante was also staring at the screen tightly, and at the same time he sighed. Because really don't learn. Other people, anyone, can't learn it. Whoever learns will be finished. Whoever learns will die. Whoever learns will be beaten to doubt life. Not everyone is Xiaoji, and not everyone's Pikachu is Xiaoji's Pikachu. The reason why Xiaoji's Pikachu can be so powerful is all because of Xiaoji's special training. Or it is because Xiaoji has already merged with Pikachu. Only when Pokemon and trainers are in sync and have unified ideas, can their strength reach the highest level. If it is just because Xiaoji's series of operations are too cool and too powerful. As a result, other ordinary trainers in the elf world are also led to play Pikachu, that would be bad. It's not that you can't play Pikachu. But, if you want to play Pikachu, you have to have a deep bond with it. And you have to have a close relationship with Pikachu. You have to be like Xiaoji, and have a life and death relationship with your own Pikachu. Otherwise, why would you use Pikachu to fight a quasi-god? Otherwise, why would you use Pikachu to fight a legendary beast? Otherwise, why would you use Pikachu to play in the league competition? What a joke. Denji. Yes. I have already seen it from the inventory of this series of light screens. When Xiaoji's Pikachu first appeared in Pallet Town, when he defeated hundreds of Spearows, Xiaoji's Pikachu was no longer an ordinary Pikachu. How can a Pokemon be kept in the same place? Once the wind and clouds meet, it will become a dragon. I guess that's what it means. Pikachu is probably now a very top Pokemon with electric attributes. I would like to call it a legendary Pokemon. Day. Disgusting. You weren't like this before. Denji. Haha, someone has been chasing Xiaoji's Charizard and licking it, but I won't say who it is. But I hope you know it yourself. Day. Right. As Day and Denji love and hate each other on the screen, all the trainers smiled knowingly. Everyone has heard about the status of these two people. Then, everyone continued to watch the picture on the light screen. Why was Dandy surprised just now? It was because Xiaoji's iron tail facing the water surface was too cool. This is a rainy day opened manually. The iron tail fell into the pool of rainy day. God's operation. It can be seen that now Banguilas is sweating all over. Of course, I don't know if this sweat is the cold sweat of Banguilas himself, or the dew caused by the rain. But no matter what, Banguilas has been added with a soaking effect. If he is hit by an electric skill at this time, it is estimated that the effect will be outstanding. This is also what all the top trainers are amazed. It's really amazing. On the 10,000 uses of Iron Tail. Physical rainy day. Forced rainy day. And it is obvious that after being forced into the water by forced rainy day, Banguilas was completely confused. At this moment, he was looking back at his trainer Alan, hoping that Alan could give him an order. Banguilas has been on the battlefield for so many years, and he has never encountered this kind of Pikachu. In the light screen. Just when Banguilas turned around and came back. Xiaoji directly commanded Pikachu to use 100,000 volts, and then electrocuted Banguilas with a backhand, which had an excellent effect. In an instant, Banguilas was directly electrocuted and fell to the ground. With a rumbling sound. It can be seen that this was Pikachu's previous use of Iron Tail after jumping into the sky, and then using the rebound of the water surface to jump into the sky again, followed by a 100,000 volt. After using this move, Pikachu did not even look back at the big explosion of Banguilas being electrocuted by 100,000 volts. It seems to say, a real man never looks back at the explosion. For a moment, the visual sense of Thor was also directly pulled to the maximum. This directly beat Banguilas to a state of residual blood. Well done, Pikachu. Keep using the electric ball. This is the time to seize the opportunity. With Xiaoji's loud roar, all the audience was shocked by Xiaoji's momentum. And Pikachu also jumped up suddenly, and directly condensed a flashing electric ball from his tail. And while the electric ball was shining and glittering, Pikachu also slammed it directly towards Banguilas. Pika. 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 Instantly, the electric ball rushed towards Banguilas. And Alan did not sit still, although he reacted a beat slower. Although I don't know if he was shocked by Xiaoji's car. But Alan immediately commanded Bankiras to carry out manual defense. Bangiras, use sharp stone attack. Following Alan's command, Bangiras immediately raised his claws and slammed the ground with his right hand. With a rumbling sound, the sharp stone attack was direct. 1, 2, 3 sections, it turned into a lot of rocks and rushed towards Pikachu. But before the attack was over, Alan directly swung his fists with both hands, left hand forward and right hand backward. He suddenly commanded Bangiras to continue the attack. Bangilas, use your tail to break the sharp stone attack. Using the tail to break the sharp stone attack is not a skill, so it does not harm the Pokémon. However, it can make the Pokémon that was originally fixed to the ground move. Pikachu's sharp stone attack turned into flying rocks. At this moment, these flying rocks also turned directly into small blue rocks and rushed towards Pikachu. Each rock was the size of Pikachu. Whoosh 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 whoosh. Pikachu was directly surrounded by countless debris from the sharp stone attack. Pikachu, use Iron Tail. Deflect all the sharp stone attacks. Xiaoji reacted very quickly, and almost at the moment of issuing the order. Pikachu also used his Iron Tail frantically in the air. Iron Tail. Iron Tail. Iron Tail. Iron Tail. Iron Tail. In an instant, all the debris of the sharp stone attacks were completely dissolved by Pikachu using Iron Tail. And directly returned it to Bankiras intact, and exploded in front of Bankiras. Bangilas is now. While the dust in front has not completely settled. Use Crunch. Alan's Crunch command was very fast. It looked like Bangilas was going to confuse Pikachu. When Bangilas opened his mouth wide and started to bite Pikachu, Pikachu seemed to have no time to react. Ilan, it's really great. I won't say that this move is very oppressive, but this is the fact. I didn't expect this time. In the future, when I play in the Mier conference, I will actually turn the disadvantage into an advantage. This move of biting and biting came over, and Pikachu obviously didn't react. Look at that small body, under the huge mouth of Bangiras, it is really too fragile. Ilan is now as confident as he said. And Ilan is also staring at the light screen at this moment. Because this time in the Mier competition, he also plans to participate in the real world. And he also plans to show his skills at the conference. And now that the inventory exposure system has directly exposed his duel with Xiaoji this time. That means that at this conference, maybe in the future it will be a duel between Ilan and Xiaoji. This will also be a duel that Ilan pays special attention to. Now I can prepare more, take a closer look, and then I can plan and strategize. After all, Ilan will only produce one Charizard under normal circumstances, but now Ilan has produced Bangiras as the first game. This is a 6-on-6 match. So it would be good for him to learn more at this moment. Zyva. Although sneak attacks are a bit unethical, strictly speaking, this doesn't seem to be a sneak attack. It can only be said that the speed of Alan's command in the picture is too fast. This move of biting and crushing can also be seen with the speed of Bangilas. Alan is very handsome. Bangilas's speed racial value does not seem to be high, which is also quite rare. Adieu. Hey, didn't we say this before? We can't decide whether a Pokémon is strong or weak based on its racial value. If we decide whether a Pokémon is strong or weak based on its racial value, it would be biased. We must also fully consider the individual. Sirona. I am not too concerned about this bite. I feel that I am more concerned about Pikachu's use of Iron Tail towards the water surface to make the sandstorm disappear, as well as the 100,000 volts of rapid attack, and the electric ball and Bankiras's sharp stone attack to offset the electric ball, and use the tail to break the sharp stone attack, and Pikachu uses Iron Tail to rebound the fragments. This series of operations. It can be said that the sudden attack. It's just a result. It's the end. Different from the discussion of the race value and the bite by Zyva and Adu. Miss Sirona is more concerned about how Pikachu will deal with Bankira's previous attack and counter it. There is no doubt that Xiaoji is really handsome. The previous series of operations can also be regarded as Xiaoji's exertion of Pikachu's strength to the limit. If it is a little less, it will be impossible to be so comfortable. Kaluna. Yes. Xiaoji and Alan played very well in this game, but Xiaoji couldn't withstand this move. I feel very pitiful when I see Pikachu's weak and helpless face. Huh. There is a change. Look, Xiaoji seems to have made a move. Just as Kaluna reminded, Xiaoji also made a move quickly at this moment, so everyone's attention was attracted by the light screen. In the light screen, Pikachu jumped back to avoid it and activated Iron Tail. The moment Xiaoji gave the order, Pikachu immediately turned back, jumped, and leapt high into the air. And the tail also flashed for a moment. This is the sign of Iron Tail being activated. Pikachu is now fully powered up, just like a thunder god. Pika Pika Pika. Accompanied by Pikachu's shout, the Iron Tail also hit Bankira's directly. And what a coincidence, it hit Bankira's mouth directly. But at the scene, the audience who supported Xiaoji had no time to cheer. Bankira's activated the crushing skill, so his teeth were very hard, and the crushing skill also kept biting Pikachu's Iron Tail, and turned upward fiercely, throwing Pikachu directly away. It was a close call. But Xiaoji in such a situation did not have any worries but laughed instead. It seemed that he was sure of victory. At this moment, countless champions were completely confused. What's going on? Normal people should be very worried and scared after their Pokémon was thrown into the sky. After all, they are not sure whether their Pokémon can withstand the impact of falling from the sky. But Xiaoji's Pikachu. It seems that he is not afraid of falling from the sky at all. And it seems that after arriving in the sky, Pikachu has unlocked a higher level of ability. Can it be played like this? Professor Oak. This is not easy. In the Kalos region, Xiaoji seems to have used Pokemon tactics to the extreme. If it is usual, Pikachu seems to fight head-on, on the ground, or fight with other Pokemon like in the light curtain, but this time in the Mi-Air conference, it frequently uses jumping to fight in the air, which is really amazing. While Professor Oak was talking, the other side also applauded. As a professor who gave Pikachu to Xiaoji, as a veteran of Pallet Town, as a veteran of the Kanto region, and as a veteran of the entire elf world, he has a say in the improvement of Xiaoji's strength. Basically, Xiaoji grew up under his personal care. Professor Oak basically knows about the series of things that Xiaoji has experienced. And in the beginning, Xiaoji was actually not favored by Professor Oak. But it was precisely because Xiaoji himself did not abandon and give up that he won one honor after another. Kato, what are the levels of the two Pokemon in this conference? Does Mr. Allen have the strength of an 8th master at this time? Probably not yet, but I guess he must have the strength of a king, probably around level 50. What level will Xiaoji's Pikachu be? Mary. It's hard to judge, unless we get the final battle report showing Pikachu's level, then we can know. But no matter what, Pikachu's level is definitely not low, he is more comfortable than Banguira's. Chibana. Handsome. Ever since I was defeated by Satoshi in the Masters position swap battle, I felt that I had become a fan of Satoshi. Now it seems that no matter how I feel, I am a 100% fan of Satoshi. As long as Satoshi can win handsomely with Pikachu, I declare that I, Chibana, will be Satoshi's #1 fan from now on. There is no doubt that after experiencing Satoshi's series of wonderful performances, Chibana feels that Satoshi is very strong, and it seems that he is now competing with Serena for the position of Satoshi's #1 fan. For Chibana, he feels that as long as a trainer is strong and charming, he will be respected. And this is what Satoshi looks like now. Serena. Wow, the #1 fan position is mine, no one else wants it. But after Serena said this, she was also welcomed by other girls. They also wanted to grab Xiaoji's #1 fan position, and the chat group became lively again. Sakari. Funny. Don't you pay attention to anything other than the chat group. You chat in the chat group all day long. This time, Pikachu's electric ball may not have a great effect. After all, Banguira's is a quasi-god Pokemon. Pikachu is how can a small Pokemon defeat a quasi-god? And that's Alan, the 6th ranked trainer among the 8 masters. And it's the first game with a win. No matter how I think about it, Alan can't lose. At this moment, Sakari also came out in time and output a wave of his own strength. He felt that what he said was right. It must be like this. And because Sakari is indeed the boss of Team Rocket, his strength is also very good. After he made this statement, many people considered the strength of Alan and Xiaoji comprehensively, and still felt that Alan had a greater chance of winning the first game. Even if the current Banguira's is in a yellow blood state, there is no problem. Pikachu. Can't beat it. Too far behind. 6. Kamishiro. Although Sakari is an out-and-out bad guy, I still think that Pikachu vs. Bankira's is a little shaky, and Sakari's analysis is correct. After all, I estimate that the level difference between the two sides is not big. Unless Xiaoji's Pikachu is a master-level Pikachu, I don't think there is any possibility of defeating Bankira's. Although Xiaoji won when he challenged my battle pyramid at that time, I didn't give my all at that time. As Kamishiro was talking, he also looked at his 3 pillars in the battle pyramid and stated a fact. This is the fact. If all 3 pillars came out at that time, how could Xiaoji beat himself? But since Kamishiro supports Alan to win, and since Alan has supporters in the group, then Xiaoji's supporters will naturally not be able to escape. Lila, who is also the person in charge of the battle frontier and the battle tower, doesn't care that Kamishiro is a colleague in her area. She feels that she must stand up for Xiaoji. Come on, Lila. Mr. Kamishiro, what you said seems to make sense, but in this PK, Pikachu's performance is obviously better than that of Banguira's. Pikachu's several skills all hit Banguira's head-on, which had a practical effect. But Banguira's, commanded by Mr. Allen, did not get any advantage from Pikachu. So, we should deal with the matter objectively and cannot decide based on the rarity of Pokemon. Lila was even more confident when she said this. If we talk about rarity, Xiaoji is not inferior either. Lila, if we have to go by rarity, I think Pikachu is the only Pokemon of Ash in the world, so there is nothing wrong with it. Sirona. Good. Well said. That's it. If we talk about rarity, Xiaoji will not lose. Let's discuss the Pokemon battles. I think Pikachu deserves to win this first game. Karuna. Okay. 3, 6, 7, but I still support our region's player Alan. The strength of Alan's Charizard is unquestionable, and this Bankira's is also very strong. Unless Pikachu's electric ball can knock Alan down directly, Alan's Bankira's will definitely be able to output at full power again. Accompanied by Lila, Sirona, and Karuna's seemingly friendly but fierce discussion with each other. All the trainers also felt a smell of gunpowder. But it is this full smell of gunpowder. It also makes the first game of this Mi-Air Conference 6-on-6 full battle finals more interesting. In the light screen, Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. Pikachu gathered the electric ball with full momentum and slapped it hard. At this moment, Banguilas looked up and suddenly saw the electric ball skill coming towards him. Roar! He howled at this moment. It was totally unexpected. And in the next second, the electric ball hit Bangira's face with a bang. Bangira's fell to the ground with a bang. The smoke rising from the ground and the smoke and dust that exploded after the electric ball touched Bangira's. For a moment, the hearts of many of Alan's supporters were firmly gripped. My god, it looks like Banguilas is in danger, but it should be okay, right? Banguilas should still have yellow blood and half of his stamina. Of course, how could Banguilas not be able to withstand it? It's a joke that a quasi-god Pokemon can't withstand a few attacks from Xiaoji's Pikachu. The power of the skills is linked to the Pokemon. Pikachu is so weak, the power of his skills can't be that strong. Phew, there are still many experts among the people. I understand what you said and I feel relieved. I thought Banguilas was going to lose against Pikachu. I was scared to death. Countless trainers at the scene, along with their mutual exchanges, many of Alan's supporters also breathed a sigh of relief. Alan is a star trainer in the Kalos region, and they naturally don't want their star to be defeated by Xiaoji. But there is no doubt that since Alan has supporters, Xiaoji naturally has supporters as well. For example, now, Serena, Eureka and Citron, who are in the friend and family area of the spectator seat, they are paying close attention to Xiaoji. They really want Xiaoji to win. Zhongjong. Come on, Xiaoji, Pikachu, good job. This electric ball hit the face of Banguilas directly, which will definitely cause a great damage. Serena shouted her most classic, Zhongjong, while waving her little pink fist, sparing no effort to cheer for Xiaoji. She knew that compared with Xiaoji's supporters, there were really too many supporters of Alan. But, as Xiaoji's supporters, they were naturally unwilling to lag behind. And Xiaoji's Pikachu performed really well. And Xiaoji's tactics in this game were also very good. If he could win the first battle and take the first head directly, it would definitely be a very good performance. After hearing what Serena said, Eureka and Citron on the side nodded. And at this moment, Eureka had excitedly hugged the Dongdong rat on her forehead into her arms. At the same time, she pointed to the black smoke rising above the scene and said happily. Dongdong Mouse, do you think Xiaoji's Pikachu is powerful? The skills one after another directly beat Mr. Alan's Banguirus. In this case, Pikachu will definitely win the first game. It's really great. Dongdong Mouse, did you see it? Brother, did you see it? After Eulogia finished speaking, she also held Excitron's hand, as if she was afraid that Zetron couldn't see it. At this moment, Zetron also looked at his sister with a doting face. Okay, Eureka, of course I saw it. Xiaoji's performance this time is very good. Xiaoji's Pikachu will definitely win the first game. Although there were far more people cheering for Mr. Alan than for Pikachu, we can't lose. We can't admit defeat. We have to cheer for Pikachu, we have to cheer for Xiaoji. So, at this moment, Serena, Citron, Eureka, and even Strum, all cheered for Xiaoji. At the same time, the smoke and dust at the scene also dissipated directly, and time was very fast. After the smoke and dust dissipated, everyone first aimed at the face of Banguilas. Look at the face. See if there is a circle. Xiaomao. Choked to death. All Pokemon, under the power of Xiaoji's leader Pikachu, definitely have no chance of survival. I said that Xiaoji's Pikachu has the strength of the leader. Shinji. Although Pikachu is very powerful, I don't quite agree that he has the strength of a leader. But if we round it off, even if they are of equal strength, it is obvious that Satoshi's tactics are more advanced. Satoshi deserves this victory, and his victory this time is hearty and satisfying. These two rivals of Satoshi in the real world seem to have reached a consensus at this moment. They are also cheering for Satoshi crazily, because the combination of Iron Tail and Electric Ball that Satoshi used to command Pikachu in this game is so cool. They were completely conquered. Karuna. Ah. Alan lost the first game. Did Pikachu directly complete a big reversal? However, after careful analysis, this is not a big reversal, Pikachu is still very strong. Congratulations to Xiaoji for winning the first game, but after Banguilas was defeated, his mouth opened and his eyes rolled around. He really looked a little silly. At this moment, Karuna watched Pikachu standing proudly on the field, and Banguilas, who looked like an iron fool, was defeated. Such a single push against Banguilas without any damage. And it was. The game was as smooth as flowing water. It was really exaggerated. And with the previous 100,000 volts without standing effect, plus a ball of electricity, Karuna also figured out why Banguilas lost. It was because. Alice. Maybe it's because of the waterlogging on that rainy day. It's because of the manual rainy day of Iron Tail. This manual rain is really amazing. I even suspect that Xiaoji's Pikachu is a quasi-god level Pokemon. At this moment, Alice was not stingy with her praise. Because she felt that Xiaoji's move was completely worthy of all the most wonderful words, because it was really so handsome. This was a full-blooded direct kill of Banguirus. If Alice was not at the Lily of the Valley conference, Alice would have wanted to take a good look at this legendary trainer. What kind of status is he in at the Lily of the Valley conference? A deck. Yes, Alice's analysis is correct, it was because of that manual rainy day. If it weren't for that manual rainy day, Xiaoji's Pikachu wouldn't have won so easily. This is Xiaoji's tactical victory. Xiaoji has been able to skillfully use the tactics of skills in the Kalos region. Xiao Mao. Come on, talking about 1,000 or 10,000, all of these seem a little indirect. Let's interview Mr. I Lan, the first participant on the scene. May I ask, what are your thoughts? At this moment, Xiaomao also wants to take advantage of the victory. Although the timelines of the two sides are currently different, the people are the same. So this does not prevent Xiaomao from directly giving I Lan a hand of strength. At this moment, I Lan was watching Xiaomao cue himself in the chat group in the Kalos area, and he also felt a little uncomfortable. What happened? I Lan hasn't reacted yet. Because, before, Banguilas was still very strong, and he has been very stable. But in the blink of an eye, he lost. What a fuss. But the next time, I Lan took a deep breath. Because he knew not to rush first. Then we can see what Pokemon Xiaoji releases, and then Alan can counter it. Lan, don't worry, I have a feeling that Xiaoji's enthusiasm will have a negative effect in the second round. In the second round, he will take out the Pokemon first, and my second Pokemon may be able to win, please believe me. 0. After thinking for a while, Lan also answered this paragraph carefully. Because he lost a head first. Lan couldn't say that he would definitely win in the second round, he just thought that the possibility of winning in the second round was a little greater. But there is no doubt that what Lan said was naturally sneered by other Xiaoji supporters. No one thinks that Xiaoji will take out any Pokemon with reverse attributes in the second round. Although Pikachu was at a disadvantage in the first round, didn't he rely on Pikachu's wonderful tactical cooperation and weather cooperation to break the sandstorm weather first, then turn it into rainy weather, and then thunder in the rainy day? So. No problem. Xiaoguang. Don't be stupid. Xiaoji is fine. Even if he takes out other Pokemon in the second round, he may be at a disadvantage, but I think Xiaoji can still win. This is Xiaoji's championship moment. If it is not a championship moment, what's the point of taking it out? So everyone should have confidence, it is stable. Xiaoxia. Speaking of reverse attributes, speaking of disadvantaged attributes, I believe that Xiaoji said that he is the second most experienced, and no one is the most experienced. And if it is a reverse attribute, Xiaoji may have an easier time fighting, so it is not a big problem. Xiao Gang. Just go along with it if you can, what are you girls doing? At this moment, Xiaogang was a little speechless as he watched. For him, the restraint of Pokemon is more important than anything else. Although Xiaoji had reversed the attributes when he challenged the first gym, which was his Nibby gym, and he still won. But that was the result of countless coincidences. You can't guarantee that there will be coincidences every time. Although, in the first game, Pikachu created the conditions at the Mier conference with his own strength, but it is not necessarily possible to create the conditions every time. Lan is not an easy person to deal with. And at this moment, just as Xiaogang worried, many of the audience in the picture were cheering for Lan to cheer up. And Lan in the picture was actually not nervous at all. Instead, he became more confident after losing a head first, and seemed to be observing. In the light screen, the Soundwave Dragon is decided to be you. Sure enough, after Xiaoji scored 1 point, he made a very handsome first move. Soundwave. When the Soundwave Dragon appeared, it also waved its wings. It showed its blue wings that looked full of pressure, as if it was saying to Xiaoji. This one is a sure thing. I have blood. See. Oh. Xiaoji, you are still too impatient. You should see what I do first before you make your move. But if that's the case, then I won't be polite. Come out, Magna. Alan also took a look at his Pokeball and threw the ball immediately. A golden light flashed. Magna in red and black waved its claws and appeared in the field. Suddenly, the screen was switched directly to the side of Sonic 1.4. After seeing the match between Magna and Sonic Dragon, many of Xiaoji's supporters at the scene immediately covered their eyes and dared not watch, such as Serena, Eureka, and Citron. But fortunately, Citron was a little more stable, but not much. After understanding the attributes of both sides, Serena and Eureka immediately felt that Xiaoji was a little reckless. But they dare not watch it. You still have to cheer. You can cheer with your eyes closed. As long as you keep cheering. Maybe Xiaoji can move forward. At the same time. On the other side, Alan's supporters saw this battle at this moment and knew that Alan was stable this time. Karuna. I told you, this is a sure thing. Mara can be said to have sealed the attributes of Sonic Dragon with 365 spirals. Sonic Dragon is weak to ice at 4. I don't know how Sonic Dragon won. It's a head-on attack. Karuna also burst out her true nature in the chat group at this moment. For her, it is a good thing that Alan can win. Of course, according to her personality, she will not help Alan without thinking. Karuna now thinks that Xiaoji is also very attractive. But Xiaoji first played Sonic Dragon. Alan played Mara later. Weak to ice at 4. No solution. Of course, unless Xiaoji is really a master of reverse attributes, but no matter how reverse attributes, do you think everyone is Pikachu? Now Karuna has gradually accepted the setting that Pikachu is a master of reverse attributes. However, it is impossible for her to accept that Sonic Dragon is also a master of reverse attributes. Maybe in the next life. Little Sonic Dragon, wait to be played around by Mara. Just like Kona beating Adu. Adu, I got cute again, that's too much. Thanks for watching.